Hello, everybody back home. It is currently 11:37 on March 28th here in Qatar, Camp Asliya, and I just wanted to send a quick message. I know it's been a little while since I have sent a video blog. I haven't done it since I got on the ground here in Qatar, but I thought, considering all of the events that are impacting our world, not just here in Qatar, but also back home, and all of the uncertainty that's going on. I thought now would be a good time for me just to give an update, not just with what's going on here, but also provide an encouraging word for everybody back home. So, for those who are uh, concerned about how I'm doing here, things are certainly more restricted than what they were just a few weeks ago. But we do get to hot meals in our dining facility every day. Not quite as fancy a setup as what we had a month ago, but we still get two good meals every day, not including the MREs we have for dinner. So we're being taken care of. The base is closed down for the most part, with very limited access for people coming on and off the post. But the blessing is that we do not have any coronavirus cases here on Camp Australia. My religious affairs specialist Jaime Duenas, and I still get a chance to circulate and to visit our soldiers, not just here on post, but we've got two offsite locations that we do visit, and we are encouraged to continue doing that. So we are able to get off post from time to time to go visit our soldiers who are offsite. It gives us an opportunity to do something with our time. We have a little bit more free time now than what we had before, but this still gives us a chance to continue our mission, the very mission that we had when we first rolled into Camp Australia back in November. Right now, with regard to our chapel services, it's very similar to what you were doing back home. Everything is digital, and so just this past Wednesday, we recorded this past Thursday, we recorded some sermons for the next couple of weeks. So I'm trying to get a copy of the sermon that I recorded. It's just a 15-minute sermon. Hopefully I'll be able to upload that so you can see the message that I preached for my soldiers here. So things are going well. The encouraging thing is that my soldiers' morale is doing very well here, unless they're very good at faking it, and I don't think that many soldiers could fake it for that long without me picking up on it. So I think their attitudes are very good. They're taking it in stride. We're having to do a lot more than what we had before, because most of the international workers that had been doing things like cleaning the trains, taking up trash, and working in the dining facility, things like that, are no longer on post because of the restrictions. So we're going to have to live with that for the next few weeks. And my prayer is that here, by the end of April, we will be back to some semblance of normalcy, some semblance of the way things were before we had all of these issues. But that is yet to be determined. I have no basis for knowing that. That's my hope. That's my prayer. So we'll see how God is going to work through this. So if you happen to think of me, just be praying that I would continue to provide this encouraging word in this time of uncertainty. So I am thinking of you, especially my church family back at Canyon Bible Fellowship. I know this is very uncertain for you, and you're treading some unknown ground as you're seeking to develop some technological responses to the limitations of gathering together. And I know Al and Mark and Marty, I had a conversation. I was able to video chat with them this past week to discuss some of the options going forward. So my prayer is that what we get started is something that we'll be able to sustain going forward, and that this would give us an opportunity to be able to reach out to our community and maybe beyond in ways that we couldn't have imagined before all of this took place. So be encouraged. One of the things that I'm thankful for is that we serve a God who is sovereign, a God who knows today and tomorrow, who is present in tomorrow, and he has tomorrow in his hands. So I'm encouraged. I look forward to seeing everybody when I get home. And my sense is that we won't be home too much later than what we were before. But again, that is yet to be determined because so much is unknown about how this whole thing is going to take place. So with that, I just kind of wanted to wrap up this update. I wanted to share something else before I conclude. As I've been reading through the Bible, one of my goals has been to read through the entire Bible during this time of our deployment. And as I've been going through it, currently I'm in the book of Isaiah. And one of the things about Isaiah is Isaiah contains a lot of bad news, but also a lot of good news. It's a book that is prophecies of judgment on Israel, but also on the nations. But in the midst of the judgment, there's the hope of restoration. And all of this points to the sovereignty of God, that God ultimately is in control of everything, and that whatever we're going through, it ultimately is for our good and for His glory. So as we think of things back in the States, I know things seem to be getting a lot worse. The U.S., as of today, is now the world's leader in terms of the total number of cases. Providentially, fortunately, thankfully, not the world's leader in terms of fatalities, but certainly the world's leader in terms of the total number of cases. With all of this uncertainty, we may wonder where God is. And we just have to trust by faith. This is where faith becomes a decision and more than a feeling. So we need to trust by faith that God, who is sovereign, is in control, and that He is going to accomplish all of these things for His glory and for our good. So in the midst of all of this, please stay in contact with one another. For those who don't have the social media access that some of us do, please give them phone calls, check in on them, see how they're doing. And I'm confident in the next few weeks that we will have opportunities to be able to reach out to one another, maybe see some of these restrictions lightened. But in the meantime, know that the same God who is allowing this to happen is the one who's going to bear us up through it. So the God of the Old Testament, the God is the God of the New Testament, the God who is the first and the last. And that phrase appears frequently throughout the book of Isaiah. He knows from the beginning from the end. And so let's trust God for the future. And I look forward to seeing everybody when I get home at the end of July, the first part of August. And I'm confident it's going to be right around that time. So I love you guys. I look forward to seeing you again. And I know that that'll be a joyous reunion when we see one another. And then we can see what God does once we're back in one another's presence. God bless, and hopefully I can do this a little more frequently.